4 Predictors of Divorce in 4 Days. This series is based on research from the Gottman Institute. Part 1, criticism. One of the strongest predictors of divorce isn't cheating or money or lying. According to research from the Gottman Institute, it's how couples talk to each other during conflict. And criticism isn't just bringing up a problem and criticizing it. Criticism is when you attack your partner's character instead of addressing the issue. So instead of, I felt overwhelmed doing bedtime with the kids alone, it becomes, you never help, you're selfish. And that shift is really important because now the conversation isn't about solving a problem, the logistics of bedtime, it's about defending against an attack. And when criticism becomes the default way that couples communicate, resentment grows fast. A healthier move is this. Describe the behavior, describe how it impacted you, and make a clear request. When you didn't help out with bedtime, I felt alone and frustrated. Tomorrow, can you please come upstairs and help? It's less, what's wrong with you? And more, I felt stressed handling that alone. Can we please plan it differently next time? Tomorrow I'll cover predictor number 2, so follow along. Part 2, defensiveness. For a lot of people, this relationship habit feels normal, but according to research by John Gottman, it can slowly damage trust. The second key predictor of divorce is defensiveness. Defensiveness is a pretty natural human emotion that comes up when we feel attacked. We want to defend ourselves. But if it happens pretty often, over time in a relationship, it can be pretty corrosive. So what is defensiveness? Defensiveness usually sounds like this. That's not true. You do that too. It's not my fault. You're overreacting. Do you remember last week when you did XYZ? To be fair, it often comes from feeling accused, attacked, or misunderstood. But defensiveness blocks repair. Instead of hearing your partner's pain, the conversation turns into proving who's right. Even when your partner isn't perfect in how they bring it up, there's often something valid underneath that complaint. So try this instead. I can see why that upset you. You're right about that part. I could have handled that better. That small bit of accountability can completely change the tone. Follow along because tomorrow I cover the most dangerous one. Part 3, contempt. According to research by John Gottman, this is the single strongest predictor of divorce. Contempt is more than anger. Anger is pretty healthy and natural in a relationship. Contempt is disgust, disrespect, superiority, eye-rolling, mocking, sarcasm, and name-calling. Contempt has the message of, I'm above you. You're pathetic. You're the problem. Contempt is so damaging because relationships need emotional safety, and contempt completely destroys it. You can be angry, you can disagree, you can be frustrated, you can be hurt. But once contempt becomes normal, love starts to erode. Here's the hopeful part. The antidote to contempt is respect. Respect your partner. Speak about the issue without demeaning them. If contempt is frequent, couples therapy. If contempt or any of these other signs are frequent, couples therapy can really help rebuild a pattern of communicating and emotional safety before too much damage is done. Tomorrow I'll share with you the final predictor of divorce. Part 4, stonewalling. Not all relationship damage is loud. Some of it looks like silence. The fourth behavior is stonewalling. Stonewalling is when one partner shuts down, withdraws, goes silent, leaves, or just emotionally checks out during conflict. It often looks cold, like they don't care, but usually underneath that is complete overwhelm. Their body and nervous system are flooded. Their heart rate is rising, stress spikes, and they cannot think clearly. So they shut down to try to soothe. The problem with this way of soothing is that the other partner experiences this as rejection, abandonment, or just not caring. The healthier move is not just staying engaged and endlessly fighting, and it's also not withdrawing and disappearing. It's to take a break and have a solid return plan. Instead of stonewalling, try this. I'm too overwhelmed to do this well right now. I need 20 minutes, and then let's come back. That protects both people. Which of these 4 do you think hurts relationships the most? Part 5. Now that you know the predictors of divorce, here's what to actually do with that information. The biggest mistake that I see people making with relationship psychology information is using it to diagnose and even attack their partner. You're defensive, you're stonewalling, that's contempt. That usually doesn't help, and it starts another fight or just prolongs one. This information is made for you to examine yourself. Ask yourself some questions. How do you handle conflict? Do you tend to get critical? Do you tend to shut down? Do you get sarcastic when you feel hurt? Do you get defensive when you feel blamed? Remember, real growth starts with self-awareness, not with finger-pointing and blame. And you know your partner. You know what helps them feel safe and what puts them on edge. So when you do bring up concerns, do it with respect. Not accusation, not scorekeeping, not trying to win. The goal is not to catch each other doing something wrong. The goal is to build a healthier relationship pattern together. And if these dynamics feel deeply stuck, couples counseling can really help. Seriously, don't wait. The earlier these patterns are addressed, the easier they are to change. I run a clinic with excellent couples therapists, and we work with clients in person in Houston and remotely across Texas, Colorado, and Montana. Let me know in the comments, which part of this is harder, noticing your own patterns or changing them?